are Confessional Magazine, and this is More to the Story, brought to you today by Iris and Bo, whose toner helps keep my laugh lines in check, because you never know what our guests are going to say. Visit irisandbo.com today and use code CONFESSIONAL for 20% off.
So much love in this heart of mine.
And I am joined here today by the one and only Michele Brilliant. And she is just that, brilliant. She's a comedian and she lives in New York City, and she's here to join us and just tell us a little bit more about her story, where she comes from, how she got into this just like world of making other people laugh. And let me tell you, I think we could all agree, we all need more humor after the past like year and a half of whatever the heck that was. So thank you.
It's still going. It's still going.
Yeah, I know.
I know.
So thank you so much for being here today, Michele.
Of course, of course. My pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Of course. So Michele, you are a comedian. I mean, anybody can follow you on Instagram at, is it the real Michele Brilliant? Apparently
when I decided to put the name up, it's _Michele with one L _ Brilliant. The real Michele Brilliant. There's a couple of underscores in there. Who the fuck knows? I mean, at this point, I feel like I'm dyslexic when it comes to
Well, you'll be able to find her from our page regardless.
Thank God.
And I can't wait to hear your story, because I have been like a fly on the wall on your page for a while now, and you are just constantly making me just crack up with your like daily just like one liners, or you get up there and you'll sing a song, or you'll get into your Annie costume. So we got to get into all of this. There's so much to get into, but where did you come from, Michele? How did you get into this world?
Well, I mean, I came from Atlanta, Georgia. I came out of my mother's vagina. So that's just was thrust into this world.
Some people come out above the vagina. So
I believe I came out her vagina. So, I mean, but I was born in Atlanta, Georgia. I came up to New York. I went to acting school. So I'm an actor, also comedian, server. I was a server for a while. So that's how I got to New York. And then I just really fell into comedy because I was good at it. I've done stand-up, sketch. I went to acting school. And then, you know, as I got older, social media happened, and I've just started creating and putting all my stuff up via that. So
yeah. So when was your like first time like getting on stage and deciding like I'm going to be a performer, whether it was acting or your comedy?
I mean, I mean, when I was younger, when I lived in Atlanta, I knew I wanted to perform just because I watched a lot of TV and I was funny when I was in school, and it felt good to make people laugh. And then I auditioned because I just didn't want to go to regular college. I guess it wasn't my thing. So I came to acting school. And then when I was here in New York, I actually took stand-up classes, and just, you know, I don't know, it feels good to make people feel good. It's like, you know, it makes me feel good. I mean, I laugh at myself sometimes because I'm like, wow, you're an idiot and this is not going to work. And then it does work. So it feels, I mean, I don't know, it feels good, you know?
Yeah. To just be able to look around and like, no, like, yeah, I'm used to laughing at myself, but like there's a whole room of people laughing at me as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And then it just more and more. I mean, as far as like stand-up comedy, that was not really my dream. I like doing it, but you know, my cousin's a comedian and I have a bunch of friends that are comedians, and I've done like the open mics and shows, and it's just, I mean, they do like 3 shows a night. Mm-hmm. I'm like, there's no fucking way I'm doing that. I you know, wait on tables and it like that. You know, that was my show for a long time. I would go into work from 6 to 12, waiting on tables, selling my soul for tacos. I was like, I'm done with that. That's no. So, but I liked sketch comedy a lot, and that was really my thing, I think, and it still is my thing. I really dig it, but we haven't been able to do anything on stage for a while now. So
I know it's been so hard with everything being shut down with COVID and quarantine and everything. Thank God more people are getting vaccinated now. And hopefully, I say this loosely, but hopefully we're on the road to live theater and live comedy, because not only do the people watching need it, like the people doing it need it. That's your livelihood. That's your joy.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. So when you're going into these like sketch comedy routines, how long does it take you to come up with like your certain characters that you do? Because you have some really phenomenal, like, okay, we need to talk about SloMos, and we need to talk about Annie.
Okay, so Annie, so I did sketch comedy back in the 90s with John Roberts, who's the mom, Linda Belcher's voice on Bob's Burgers. And I went to acting school with John Roberts. And we did a sketch show called Poo Poo Platter. It was at a club called Starlight on the Lower East Side. And so we were trying to figure out how to, what to do. And he's like, you need to dress up as Annie and host the show. So we went to this Halloween store that used to be on 4th Avenue, and I literally bought a child's large, Halloween costume of Annie, and it doesn't fucking fit. Like, it's
Is that still the one that you use?
Same one. It's on its last leg.
It's retro.
Yeah. So Annie was, he was like, do that. And then I just started making things up, like, let's dance, flash dance Annie. And then we used to do all these other things, which are completely inappropriate when it comes to Annie. And so then I just ran with it and did the horror sketch where I, in the end, try to kill Sarah. And then I did a Good Morning New York City and the World dressed as Annie, because who doesn't want to see Annie walking down the street talking about her favorite restaurants?
Hello.
And there's so much more. And then I did the Who Killed Sarah, which is like the #1 show on Netflix. And this one guy that's one of the characters on there who played Sarah's boyfriend in it, Alejandro, he's a huge Mexican actor. And he used to come into the restaurant La Esquina that I used to work at. And we're friends. And I was like, oh my God, I've got to imitate this whole thing. And I've got to put Annie in it because it would make sense. So, I mean, there's a lot of other things I want to do with her, but I just make crazy shit up. I just think of it. And the SloMos, I've always wanted to dress as a Hasidic Jew. And
are you Jewish?
I am Jewish.
Okay. I was just curious.
I'm a Jew in case anyone, So it's just such a great, like, I don't know. I just thought of it and I was like, I just had this idea, black and white, SloMo cigarette. And then I got Russ involved and it was like SloMos in SloMo. And we literally shot one day. My friend Michelle shot it for us. And I got so much footage that I got two separate ones. I mean, I want to continue that because it's just not.
It's amazing because it's like accurate. Like, it's like if somebody was actually taking SloMo, like, it's just so spot on. I grew up in Edison, New Jersey. I don't know if you know.
That's where John's from. I used to go to Edison, New Jersey with him all the time
Oh, really? Yeah. So I'm from Edison, which is right next to Highland Park, which is it has a very Hasidic community there. Yes. And so, I mean, I've seen this happening, but to see it in like SloMo and SloMo is just like the greatest thing ever.
That's what I felt like the music that I put it to, which is so not what you would think. I don't know. I like doing things differently. I like making things up. So it's, it's fun. And I don't know if you've scrolled my earlier stuff. Like, I have a really great sketch that I love, Fuck You, Tyrone. And I do restaurant stuff, which I think is, I mean, I don't know. I think it's funny because people in restaurants, they're nuts.
The ones working there, or the ones visiting?
Oh, customers. I have one sketch that's like, it's called A Night in the Life of a Waiter, and it's about allergies, about people who come in with their allergies.
Oh gosh. Yeah. Like, they do home grocery delivery for that exact reason.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, that's the one thing about waiting on tables. You learn a lot about people, their problems, their allergies, all of it.
Yeah. So Michelle, what's your background? How did you feel brave enough to, because being an actor, it takes courage regardless of whether you're the lead or you're in the in the chorus or the choir.
Yeah.
It takes courage to get out there. So how did you decide that you wanted to do this and this was who you were?
I mean, I don't even know if I decided. It was just natural, I guess. And it, it's, I don't want to say, because then I sound like an asshole if I say it's easy for me, but I'm still a chicken shit. Don't get me wrong. When I do stand up, I'm freaking out before I get on stage and during it, but it doesn't come across that way. I don't know. It's just natural for me. It's just I'm like, what am I going to fucking do with my life? All I know how to do is wait on tables or be funny. I'm like, I have no idea. I have no idea. What am I doing? You know what I mean? I don't know. I mean, shit. Yeah, I don't know if I chose it. I think it chose me on a level.
Yeah.
And I'm being fucking tortured by it still to this day. Cause
and especially not to go harp on the quarantine thing, it's got to be especially torturous just because there's not as much access right now to get out there and do and perform. And so
yeah.
do you have is there any do you feel a sense of light at the end of the tunnel in the city at this point?
I mean, absolutely. I mean, I always feel like there's a small light sometimes, when it's really dark. There's always a pinprick. There were years where I just was like, I'm gonna fucking be buried in the floors of this restaurant that I'm working in and haunt this place. But there was always a light, and I mean, I wrote a pilot for HBO 5, maybe 6 years ago. And that's when I really thought the light was at the end of the tunnel. But the universe likes to, kind of snatch that away from you at certain times when they're like, you're not ready for that. So we're gonna postpone that for a while. So, I mean, I just try to stay as positive as I can. I mean, yes, I think there's a light at the end of the tunnel for sure. I mean, you have to be positive. I mean, I can be dark and angry and all of that, but what is that going to do? That's just going to bring darkness and anger, towards.
Right. And I was mostly meaning with the quarantine thing going on and being able to get the access to perform, but you're still getting out there and you're inspirational, because I'm sitting back at my little house in Ohio where I live now. I don't know how I got here. It's a tornado or something, but I'm sitting back and I'll be scrolling and I'm watching you walking through the streets of New York City right now. And so many people are feeling stuck. Stuck home. And you're getting out there and you're making people smile and you're getting you're bringing the joy back. And that is so cool. That's so cool.
There's definitely a light at the end of the tunnel in the city for sure. I mean, the city is not dead. New York is not dead. I'm not going to say that there, as many cool people here as there used to be. But there's definitely a light at the end of the tunnel here. I mean, we are alive. There are a lot of artists that are still creating and doing the work. I mean, even when people were quarantined in houses, we were still, creating.
Yeah.
That's crazy. You have to. And I mean, I absolutely will go outside to shoot if necessary. I mean, I'll wear my mask, of course. And then, when no one's around, I'll take it off and do what I need to do. So.
Right. I mean, but it's just I'm looking forward to going back home for the first time. I know we've talked behind the scenes. I'm getting my second vaccine tomorrow, and I'm going to be able to meet my nephew for the first time for longer than 20 minutes.
That's awesome.
In 7 months. And I'm so excited, because I'm road tripping back and we're making it happen. And it's just let's open the gates. Let's do this, but safely.
Yes,
that's right.
Especially safely and not act like beasts. But I just think that it has been just a crazy year and people are just in such need of, seeing their families, human contact, laugh, and
just finding the joy in other people's stories. I found that in the past year, it's been a year of people have come to a realization maybe within themselves that let's not be so selfish. Who is this person? There's a story behind this person. And maybe it's because we've been so separated, but I can't wait for the entertainers to get back out there
Oh, it's
and
gonna be
just
great. People are gonna, I mean, they're doing it now in New York, you know, they're doing outside stand-up shows, you know, everywhere. So, I mean, that's, you know, I mean, it's gonna be great when the weather gets even better and better. So
yeah.
that's gonna be happening a lot. I wish they could do like, you know, more sketch shows. That would be pretty dope.
Well, put
I mean,
one together.
I know I should, right? Great idea.
Let's just do it.
Why didn't I think of that, huh? But yeah, no, I think it's gonna be, I think things are turning around. Things are definitely turning around, you know?
Yeah. So within let's say the next like year, where would you like, if you could be performing anywhere in the city in the next year, if everything's opened up, like where would you love to be performing, or what would you love to be doing?
Well, I would really love to get like my sketch show made. And I'd also like to revive my show that's just sitting at HBO, you know, if not there, HBO Max, or be able to just, you know, get it somewhere else because
Yes.
it's an excellent show. That's what I'd really like to be doing. And until then, I'm going to just keep creating content and getting it on my page. So, you know, the right person will hopefully come across it and see it. And, you know, I'll get my manager and, you know, then I'm sorry, who are you?
Right. Like what?
I'm sorry, what? What? No,
Come again?
I'm just kidding. No, but that's really my goal. And I just keep trying to like live in the moment of the day. And that's something that I've actually learned over the last 5 months, because I've had to do a lot of work on myself and really look at what I do in life, you know, how I handle things, triggers, trauma, all that. Because if you're not looking at that, then how do you survive? How are you growing? And it's just about living in the moment for me right now, today, right now. If I think too far ahead, I'm going to freak out. If I torture myself from the past, I'm going to freak out. Like there's just no point.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's honestly the only way that you will move forward successfully. And
Exactly.
yeah, that's what you're doing. And I mean, just the way that you're still getting out there, like almost like daily, if not multiple times a day with like this content that you're putting out is just, also, I have to bring up, I saw it today, you put out this like audition reel.
That, such bad acting. Such bad acting.
But it's like so good.
Well, it's funny because that I did off the cuff. Like I just made that up on the spot because I was helping my friend David shoot a scene for an actual audition, and he had to do a slate, which is what I was doing, you know, and I was like, oh my God, let me do a couple of different slates. Like, let me do a couple of different like auditions. And I wasn't even really reading anything. I just made it up on the, you know, in the moment. And I thought it was kind of funny. I mean, it's just because actors are just so like, people like to post that like their actual auditions. And I just think that's so fucking weird. So I was just like making fun of it. And that actually same day I shot that reel that I did of LP, who's a singer that she's really super successful. I used to actually be very good friends with her back in the 90s. So I did that the same day. That's shit happens like that for me. I just make it up right then and there.
It's just organically coming to you and it's out.
Thank you. I have a lot more coming. So, I mean, why not? Now's the time, right?
Yeah. I mean, so again, we can find you at The Real Michele Brilliant on Instagram.
Correct.
Instagram with the underscores in between the words.
Yes.
The Real Michele Brilliant with one L.
One L.
One L. How else can people find you? Are you on YouTube?
I have a YouTube page, Michele Brilliant. It's the similar sketches, but that's it. It's the same shit, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I have TikTok. I mean, you have to be on all these fucking, and Facebook. It's just like, Jesus Christ, please come up with another platform for my fucking old ass to have to get on and not know what I'm doing.
I know. They should all just do them. They should just be one thing.
I mean, it's just like, I can't keep up. So it's.
Yeah. So I first knew of you because I was introduced to you through Sarah McSweeney, who's fabulous. She is Leah McSweeney's sister, and they've both been on Real Housewives of New York. And you and Sarah constantly, or not, maybe not constantly, but when you put these videos together, they're so
McSweeney and me.
Larry, McSweeney and me. So how did you even like meet the McSweeney sisters?
I mean, I worked with Sarah so many years, like when she was 16 or no, I don't even remember how old she was. She was young. And so we worked at the same restaurant, La Esquina. And that's how I met her. And she was like a hostess. And it was crazy. We had so much fun. And then I met Leah. And then I've known them for years. And I know Leah's ex-man, baby daddy, Rob. I used to buy sneakers from them. And that's how I know them for all these years. And it's easy to hang out with Sarah because, I mean, we laugh so hard together. So, and I wanted to do like a reality show, McSweeney and Me, which I actually have a pitch for along with my sketch show and everything else. Cause I just think it would just be so hysterical, you know, the differences between us and how funny we are.
I mean, you guys are hilarious, and it's not like a forced, it's not a forced connection there between you guys. It's so natural. It's like naturally like pissed off, but like loving at the same time.
Exactly. It's angry and bitter with a tiny little sprinkle of happiness. Right?
Yeah.
They're both great. I'm really happy for Leah. She's excellent on The Housewives.
Yeah. I mean, she's was a favorite before I even met Sarah, and she's
1985 is dead. Real. Remember when she said that? 1985 is dead. You're right.
Iconic. And that's like what I honestly believe, that Leah opened the floodgates on Bravo TV, because she's the first one that like was really a white, I'm just going to say it, she's a white woman that was, you know, bringing these important topics to older generations of white women that might have differing feelings or whatever. But anyway, that's regardless. Let's throw color out the window. Leah's iconic, and I just love that she's bringing so many important topics to the page, and I can't wait to see like
she's
what
real.
happens
That's
this
the
season.
thing. She's real. She's born and raised, you know, she's New York City, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? On a different level. She's downtown, you know, she's edgy, she's cool, just like, you know, Sarah. So it's definitely a different flavor. I watched, I mean, I actually don't even really watch The Housewives of New York City. I watched it for her to support.
Yeah.
Her. And then, but I am guilty of watching The Housewives of Beverly Hills. I know. I'm sorry. I can't help it. I watched a lot of them when I was a kid acting, you know, like the Richards. Was it Kim Richards?
Yeah, Kyle Richards.
And
Yeah.
Kyle,
Kim.
yeah. And Renna.
Renna.
When she was on that soap. Yes, honey. Yes. You do watch that.
I mean, there are some classics in there for sure.
There really are. So,
I mean, I love just everything that's going for Leah. I really believe she's bringing some like truth to this thing that is Bravo TV.
I agree with you. I just think she's bringing a lot of flavor. She's bringing a lot of flavor to it, because it's just like, how many times are we going to watch the same shit? Like,
exactly.
Can you just, so she really spices it up, which is good.
Yeah. Michele, I thank you so much for coming on here, and I can't wait to see where else you go with your acting and your comedy and just your spirit of positivity, and still just like getting out there regardless of what the world is throwing around us. So I appreciate you.
Of course. And I you know, I just want to say thank you so much for, you know, having me on here. And I think that the wonderful thing is that, you know, there are people out there that look like me now that are doing good work.
Yes.
You know, so
sorry. No, I just got a ding. A ding came through at the same time.
I was like, and you're talking about that. So we're done.
We're not. Say it again.
No, I was just saying, I just think that, you know, because growing up in this business for so long, I mean, I used to have a bob. I used to have long hair and all this stuff. I was in the First Wives Club. Like, I literally had a bob. You know, I did Trick with Tori Spelling. I've done all this stuff. And it's been a long road of trying to make it and break into this business. And now because of social media and because of people like you, there are all these platforms that give different types of people an opportunity to show what they can do. You know what I mean? And I think it's great. It's not just the typical characters out there, you know, like that's the most important thing.
Everybody has a story, and that's like my whole thing is everybody has a story and everybody has the ability to make it. If you truly genuinely believe this, like, so I mean, I guess this is my own thought, but I believe that if you genuinely believe in yourself and are 100% true to who you are, you're going to be the most successful version of yourself at the end of the day. And that's what this platform is all about is, you know, I'm talking to, you know, people that maybe haven't been on a million screens yet, but there's like the bottom line of yet, because I know that there's somebody big out there that's looking down and is going to see these people really trying and really just being who they are. And those are the people that need gold, you know? And so I appreciate people that can just be their genuine selves and just share their stories. It's cool. It's cool.
I agree with you. I mean, that's how we should be, right? But
yeah,
you know, it's how we should be.
Yeah.
One day. I'm sorry, Hollywood's calling. Hey.
Oh, ding, ding.
I made it. I've made it. Matt, is that you, Matt Damon? We're making my show? Oh my God.
Wait, can I tell you something? Every time I'm traveling, my dad will send me a text and he'll be like, let me know when you land and tell Matt Damon I said hi.
Are you serious?
I have no idea why he does that, but like.
Well, that's really funny. You know, Matt Damon is the one who helped me get my show to HBO. Did I tell you that?
No.
Oh yeah, the show that I created, it's called My Brother Nancy, and Matt Damon is the one who helped me. I pitched it to him at my restaurant, and he actually helped me get it to.
Wait, my dad is gonna die.
He's the nicest guy, and he is the one person. Not the one person. I'm sure there are plenty of others. But he is the one. He's the one person that I can say who read every single thing that I sent him, and he actually helped me. And he was the producer on the show. Yeah, and still would be if I could get the fucking thing made. So
that's.
Yeah. And he's got a great sense of humor. He's amazing, and he looks like my ex-girlfriend, one of my ex-girlfriends.
I love this.
Yeah. Matt Damon, he's the man. I'm telling you.
Okay, so tell me about your script then. I'm not ending this now. Tell me about like what, if you can, if you don't want to share too much.
No, I can. It's let me give you the elevator pitch. It's basically, what do I say? It's the unlikely friendship of a character like myself who is, you know, obviously androgynous, works in a hip and trendy Mexican restaurant, waiting for her big break. And then her best friend, who's a juice entrepreneur. It's basically, when not making it really looks like in your 30s and 40s in New York City. So I think it's really good. So,
well,
you know, but yeah.
I mean, it's been read by Matt Damon, and
I mean, yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, we wrote a pilot for HBO. He got me there. He went on all my pitches with me. He's such a great guy. He really is.
That's phenomenal and amazing. Yeah. And I really hope that, you know, somebody is flipping back through and looks at this script again, because those are the things that need to be made, or like the true real, like that's what's happening to so many people in New York City that are trying to make it, that, you know, look like you.
We're not just 20, you know, that's the thing. Yeah. We're not just 20. We are 30, we are 40, we are 50, you know, we are 60. So it's not just 20-year-olds that are trying to make it. There are a lot of people that are still trying to get, you know, get their dreams made. And you know, if not for him, I wouldn't have gotten as close as I did. And I'm very, 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 very thankful. So, I mean, it was a great ride. And that's the thing. Yeah. You know, another thing is what I realized, like in that moment, people don't enjoy the ride. it's like they don't want to tell anyone because they don't want to jinx it. But if you don't tell anyone about what's happening, if you're not excited about
you can't celebrate.
You can't celebrate it. But also, if it doesn't happen, you didn't celebrate any of those moments up until that point. Like, and oh my God,
then it's like an internal struggle that you have to deal with the loss on your own.
Yeah,
almost.
it sucks. It sucks.
Yeah.
So it's like you have to live every moment and enjoy it, because that's what, I mean, life is torturous, and they're, but you gotta enjoy it, because if you don't, then what's the point of fucking being here?
Exactly. I mean, oof, yeah. Yep.
I get that goddamn show made, I swear to God.
It's gonna happen. I mean, it's gonna happen.
It better.
You're saying it now.
Well, it was before like the Me Too movement when we pitched it. It was before, Ryan Murphy came out with all these, great shows with Pose and all this stuff. So it was almost like before Showtime came out. Have you seen that show? I forget what it's called, of course. I'm a bad lesbian. Oh, by the way, I'm a lesbian. I forget what it's called, but it's about a dyke. It's about this lesbian. And
I don't actually have Showtime, unfortunately.
that's okay. Neither do I, but I read about it. There are a couple of shows that came out. But I was like right before it. So, but who knows? Maybe
just unfortunate timing, but it'll come back around. And well, okay, for real, Michelle. I feel like I could keep talking to you about like all of this stuff forever. Michelle, I cannot stop laughing, first of all. Second of all, I appreciate you again so much for coming on here and just sharing a bit of your story. And there's so much more about you that I've learned, and I followed you for a while on Instagram, but even just through this little conversation that we have, like, I don't know, like, your story is very, very cool, and
Thanks.
There's so much to you that I hope the whole world gets to see, because you're just one of those lights that needs to be shown. So I appreciate you.
Well, thank you very, very much. I appreciate you too, and thank you for the opportunity. And if I can help you in any way, please feel free to let me know, reach out. I'm there for you, girl.
I got your back, or your front, whatever you want.
I'll take both. I'll take both.
Thank you so much, Michelle. I will talk to you soon.
All right, girl. Have a great night.
You too. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
So much love in this heart of mine.